Text favorites are certainly a core part of our automated annotation. And if we take a look at our text favorite manager for annotation of geometry, for example, if I look at a curve label and the content of that, I'll have several rows of text information that I have put together here. And so I have a prefix of PI, for example, and then I have the PI station. And so you'll see the arc PI station there where I have set the precision to 2 decimal places to drop a station equation name if that were to contain a station equation. So there's all kinds of properties. We have, for example, stationing in here that are delivered with the examples workspace for you to get a look at. So let's look at automating some annotation of our geometry then. Here I have interchange geometry shown on the screen. If I want to annotate that, I'll come over to Annotate Element. And then I can choose to annotate all elements in the model or just pick a single element or multiple singles. So I pick, for example, this one, and then I reset. And so now these 2 alignments are annotated. Set up properly, we would be able to bulk annotate multiple alignments at the same time, showing stationing, lengths, bearings, curve data, cardinal labels, everything that you can imagine on our annotations of our geometry. Using text favorites, we also have the ability to auto-annotate our survey mapping features. And so if we take a look at some text favorites for survey, these are some that are delivered in our examples workspace. For example, here is a text favorite that is set up to report a field code, point description, point elevation. Here's a more complete one for topo point labels. So there's a point name, and then we have the feature code or field code, northing, easting, and elevation. We also have some examples in here using survey attribution. So we have the attributes pairs for those. So let's take a look at automating our annotation for survey. So here we have a survey file. We proceed to annotate element. And again, you can pick one at a time or you can do all the elements in the model. I'm just going to choose all the elements in the model for this one. So here we have our annotation shown for some of our linear features, some of our closed shapes. I believe down here we have a monument that we take a look at that text favorite as well, showing the information there from the properties of that particular survey feature. Now let's take a look at how we can use text favorites to automate our annotation for utilities, for existing utilities. So if I open up my text favorite manager, in this example, I have a couple of text favorites created, one for communications, and it's going to show the label of the utility and also the diameter. And note that I have a prefix put in here for the diameter and also accuracy set to 3 decimal places for both the communications and the electrical diameter. You'll see here that we're collecting the utility label or the name of the utility. So we come in to annotate. I'm just going to annotate the entire drawing. Then I have my electrical duct annotated with the diameter, and I have my communications duct annotated with its diameter. And so that's how we can use text favorites to automate our utility annotation. And lastly, to show how we can automate our annotation for drainage and utilities, if we take a look again at our text favorite manager, this example, I have, for example, a text favorite that shows the utility link description, the unified length, which is here, the utility slope calculated, and the material that it was made out of. These are some text favorites that we deliver with our examples workspace that I'm showing here. So now let's take a look at actually our automated annotation for drainage and utilities. So once we have everything set up, we will be able to bulk annotate both in our plan view and in our profile view. And so I'm going to select to annotate element, all elements in the model. And once everything's set up properly, you'll be able to annotate your links and your nodes. So here we have our plan drainage annotated, and then we can do the same thing in our profile view down here. We simply select on the dynamic annotation, and then we select in our view, and that will place our annotation for our profile. However, we have our text favorites set up to label, and so you'll see there the nodes and the links are annotated properly. So this shows you a complete demonstration then of how we can use text favorites to automate our annotation in bulk fashion.